Have you ever had a question burning on the edge of your mind? Something you just couldn't stop thinking about? Well, there's a place you can go to get it answered. Yahoo! Well, not anymore. That shit got sacked like last year. Instead, you can go to r/askreddit. But let's be honest, no one wants to do that. Hi again, guys, and today we're gonna look at the fourth most likely place you'd ask questions on the internet, behind Google and everything else I just mentioned, Quora. God, I've only ever read that word on a screen. I don't think I've ever said it out loud. That's how little it comes up in comparison to everything else. It's a fairly deep website. You can find a lot of stuff there. I've gone down rabbit holes just reading questions and long-form answers that can really get you thinking. There is some insightful stuff. And then there's the shit we're looking at today. How can I make my feet smell bad for weeks or longer? Where there is good content, there is bound to be a foot fetish. So yeah, let's scrape the depths of Quora questions and see if we can't come out the other side with all of our brain cells. Advanced warning, we're not going to. Also, if you enjoy this video, there will be this big card at the end that if you click or tap will take you to another video like it. I would literally cry if you clicked it, and you guys love causing me pain. Also, G Fuel plug, from now only until the 10th of this month, if you use code Kwite at checkout, you get 30% off your order. I drink this shit daily. It's actually a dependency, and you can get hooked on the good stuff too. Go ahead and get that addiction started by using my link in the description below and code Kwite at checkout. Why do people deliberately poop their pants? As soon as I saw that question, I thought we were about to be in for like an Olympic level of gaslighting, just someone trying to convince someone else that it's a normal thing to do. But the answer we got is kind of even better than that. My fiance says he does it because it feels especially good when he's stressed about work. He's been doing it since he was in middle school. It started with him accidentally pooping his pants while paintballing and spending the afternoon with a big poop in his pants, and he kept doing it from then. Guys, I really feel like for the sake of my credibility, I should clarify that every time I said I've shit myself while playing a scary game on twitch.tv/Kwite, come hang out, it was a figure of speech. I didn't really mean it. I wonder if the fact that saying you shit yourself is a relatively common turn of phrase is why this guy has gotten away with doing it unchallenged for so long. I can think of situations where I've said I'm, quote, shitting myself over something because I was thinking about something that stressed me out. This guy heard someone say that and took it literally. He thought that leaving a few fresh logs in your underwear was a common and healthy coping mechanism that everybody did. Everyone else is saying they do it, so I can't be the weird one here. How can I stop my friend/roommate from eating ice cream? My friend is a man. He should not be eating ice cream. It is so unmanly. This was, for sure, written by someone who is lactose intolerant. They see their roommate, because they do not see them as a friend, eating ice cream, and their stomach hurts at the sight out of jealousy. Not as much as it would hurt if they were eating the ice cream, but it hurts to see someone living your dream. And they just can't stand the thought of someone doing better than them. It's pure pettiness. To be fair though, I have not met one lactose intolerant person in my life who doesn't just eat dairy products no matter how much it makes them shit themselves. This post could have been made by the guy the last post was about. This country has not been a part of England for over 200 years. Why is our language to this day called English? Why is it not called Americanish? This might seem like a dumb question, but I am entirely on board with the premise. I'll give the English credit. They were the original schmucks who made this language, right? But in the last few centuries, since it's really blown up, it's like these motherfuckers have just forgotten how to speak it. They don't pronounce half the damn letters in the alphabet they made. When was the last time you heard a British person make a T sound? They can't make an sound either if they got fucked in the face with it. When they say cracker, it's cracker. It's embarrassing. They pioneered English, Americans refined it, so it's more ours than theirs now. I think a rebranding of the language is not only fair game, but long overdue. What do? My daughter is 6 and I don't want her anymore. Costco usually takes returns without any questions asked. Okay, that response was really out of pocket, like that's some shit that would get you uninvited from a person's funeral for when they die, but holy shit was it funny. It's a killer one-liner, man. You should work on that. My 24 female boyfriend, 25 male, sleeps in a nest of clothes and towels and refuses to buy a bed. I have been dating my boyfriend for 3 years and I only just finally visited his apartment this week. I was amazed to see in his bedroom there is no bed. Instead, there is a huge pile of clothes and towels in the middle of the room. My boyfriend said it is his nest and he sleeps on it. I could not believe this. He showed me how he does it and he kind of curls up into a ball in the middle and piles some of the clothes and towels on top of him. That's how he sleeps. Well, did you even give it a shot before just running to the internet about it? God, it feels like I've just read an excerpt from a fucking Omegaverse fanfiction. That's something I'm not gonna explain to you. Watch Professor Lando's video on it if you just really need to know for some reason. I won't judge. But how does something like that even start? It has to come from childhood, right? Like, I doubt the first time the guy did that was in college. He had to have just started doing that shit in elementary or middle school, and his parents were like, what fucking ever, as long as he's not setting shit on fire. And now it's just physically impossible for him to be comfortable enough to sleep in a bed. My vegan cat ate chicken, so I kicked her as a punishment after I found out an hour later. What is the best thing to do now after I got my leg bitten? I would suggest that you leave the wound to get infected and fester because you deserve it. Hey, it might not kill you. Alternatively, Alternatively though, turn yourself into the police. It's posts like these that make me very aware that a lot of the questions being asked and answers being given are probably fake, but treating them as if they are real means I can dunk on the hypothetical person behind them without feeling any guilt or remorse about it. What can I do? My daughter has been married for 6.5 years, but she still hasn't given me a grandson. Should I pressure her as her mom? She's 36, turning 37, but I'm really confused why I don't have a grandchild. This one is so funny to me because of how almost earnest it comes across. Like, my daughter's been married for almost 7 years. How come she hasn't popped a baby out of her pussy already? Is something wrong with her? Like, she just can't fathom the idea of A, waiting until you're really ready, or just not doing it all. Because what else are you getting married for? If I hire a hitman to kill me and he fails, will I go to jail? This is actually a really interesting hypothetical, and I kind of wanted to know the answer. I was looking at the responses on the actual question, and the answer is actually fairly nuanced. It seems like it comes down to what state you do it in. Has anyone tried docking, and is it difficult to do? No. Difficult unless your uncut foreskin gets in the way. Let penis, heads, kiss, pee holes. I done it. So sexy. Love crave docking. This feels like it was typed by a guy who was in the middle of docking while answering. If you don't know what docking is, good for you. That's another thing I'm not gonna explain. Look it up if you really want to know. Traumatize yourself on your own time, not mine. I do that enough to you in other weird ways. I caught my son smoking and so forced him to smoke a carton until he got sick. He ended up telling the wrong person and now a social worker is involved. What should I do? I don't know, man. It sounds like he told the right person. This parent watched King of the Hill and took it as a parenting guide. Killer show, but it has a limited amount of applicable life lessons. My 8-year-old son is crying after I deleted his Minecraft world. Should I permanently take away video games? My 17-year-old says that it's digital Lego, but I think these games are bad for him and he needs good old-fashioned outside time. This post seems like such obvious bait, and I'm only including it here to show you how to not make your post believable in the slightest. It's mostly that it's just way too stereotypical. I did something mean to my child, and they cried about it. Is this a sign I should now jump to the nuclear option? Followed by, someone tried explaining what I did and why it hurt them, so I will now dig my feet in. Like, for God's sake, they described going outside as old-fashioned. You can't get less subtle than that. Work on it, man. My teenage son has been going to the bathroom without my permission. How do I punish this behavior? What are you, his fucking math teacher? I can't understand the thought process of requiring your child to get your permission before using the bathroom at home, unless you wanted to do some weird shit, like watch them go every time. And unfortunately, I can't write that off as a possibility. Have you seen the rest of these? I walked in on my 16-year-old son smelling my panties. How do I deal with this situation? That sounds bad, but the answer given makes it a lot worse very quickly. Nothing. Let him smell all he wants. I've been smelling and sucking my mother's and sister's dirty panties since I was very young. This was written by Mr. Krabs. I did this right in front of them. We were nudists. As soon as they came home, they would take them off and pass them to me. The dirtier, the better. There's nothing that beats the smell of a woman's dirty panties. This is one of the only times I can recall where I've physically gagged while looking for content to react to. Bear in mind that I've watched some gruesome injuries in the name of content. Reading this paragraph was worse than witnessing some near-death experiences. I just don't believe in a god anymore. And then there's this poor mother in crisis trying to figure out how to deal with her son now that she's caught him doing some vile shit. And then some random bozo on the internet comes in like, why do you even care? I just don't see the problem. Me and my mom did this stuff together all the time. You're the one who's making it weird. I promised my son a PlayStation 5 if he got straight A's, and he did, but I don't want to give him a PlayStation 5. What should I do? Now on the surface level, this is just a shitty thing to do, way to show your kid to never trust you again, nut up and buy it because you said you would, yada yada, but it was also just a dumb promise to make, period. Because even if you made it with the full intention of following through, there is a 0% chance you would have been able to get one. Those things are getting snatched up faster than abducted children on an Amber Alert. Does this mean it's over? My girlfriend stopped replying to me in text when I told her in person I don't accept her 6-year-old daughter. I just want her and only her. Her final text was goodbye. Should I go to her house? I mean, if you're okay risking getting shot, man, that's definitely your call. I love how he talks about this 6-year-old like she's an obstacle between him and his one true love in some generic romance movie. Babe, I love you. All I want is you. What we have is so special. Don't let that bum-ass little toddler come between us, babe. What we have together is so much stronger than anything you have with her. Could I call the cops on my neighbors? They have a newborn baby who cries all the time. The baby disrupts my sleep. The crying is annoying and it makes me angry. Yes, make them arrest the baby. These people are both right. That baby is gonna need to learn how to shut the fuck up sooner or later, so might as well teach them young so the lesson sticks. There's no better way to make a lesson last than than traumatizing it onto a person into their childhood. That's just basic parenting. I think that's a good place to call it. There is a lot more posts like these, and they are all just as gut-punching, so let's say 20,000 likes and I'll make another one. That card I mentioned should be up on the screen right now. Please click it for another video like this. I would love you forever if you did. Also, subscribe with notifications on if you enjoyed. Remember not to go after anyone I talked about. Total waste of time. Use code Kwite on G Fuel for 30% off, and get the fuck out of here!